This is the 4-blade Madman. It's by Radical Archery Designs. It's supposed to be a 100 grain head. It's a very cool broadhead, and my buddy Hiking with a Viking, you can find him here on YouTube or on Instagram, sent me this head and a few others from Radical Archery Designs to test out and check out and see what I thought. I have used some Radical Archery Designs heads in the past and I liked them quite a bit, so I have high hopes for these. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll start off, like I said, with throwing it on a scale. Again, I believe this is supposed to be a 100 grain head. They only offer 100s and 125s, and I have a 125 that he sent me also. So let's see, turn the scale on here. Uh-oh. Alrighty, let the scale zero out. I am getting 90 grains. Yeah, so I'm getting 90 grains, which that's 10 grains off on a 100 grain head. That's not real good to start off with, not a real good starting point at all. So unfortunately, I don't have 2 other heads or 3 other heads, or I believe they come 4 to a pack. I don't have any other heads to compare the consistency. But when it's supposed to be 100 grains and it's 90, that's a pretty drastic difference. So now I'm going to go ahead and do sharpness testing, and I'm going to set the GoPro up to kind of record this a little close up for you guys, and then you can and then I'll show you a close up of whatever it scores on the sharpness testing here. Alrighty, get this sucker recording, turn our tester on. Now the best way I've decided or determined to do this, go ahead and tar that out real quick. Best way I figured out to do this is I'm going to hold the broadhead point and I'm going to push or apply pressure so that the blade is as parallel as I can possibly hold it. I just figured that that's probably the best way to test this stuff. 125. So I've not officially tested any other broadheads this way, but I have tested some broadheads in the house. 125 is really, really good. Like, that's actually probably the sharpest broadhead that I've used on this yet. So I'm super, super happy with that. Show you that 125 up close real quick. There you go. Alrighty, so now I'll go ahead and I'll step back to 40. I'll launch her at my elk downrange here and see how it flies, and then we'll do some ballistics gel testing. Alrighty, this is my longest distance possible testing. I can get right at 37 or 38 yards, right around there, here in the backyard. The way I'm going to do this, I'll shoot the broadhead first, then I'll follow it up with a field point. Then we'll go down and we'll check to see how close they are to one another. If I have shooter error on my half, you'll know about it, because I'm honest. I feel like I did a pretty good job of putting it where I wanted it to go as far as me doing my part. So I guess we'll see how this one flies. Yeah, let's go check that out. Okay, so field point broadhead. I feel like I was really close to where I wanted both of them to go. So, and I shoot other broadheads and I don't have any tuning issues as far as stacking broadheads with field points. So, yeah, that's definitely not real close. Alrighty, so now I'll do my ballistic gel test, then I'll do quick overall thoughts on the broadhead. Well, you can see the wound channel down here. The arrow kind of went in a downward angle, so it went out the bottom of the gel. But there's a nice 4-blade cut and a nice 4-blade cut that goes all the way through. Alrighty, here's a close-up, and I'm going to cover real quick just my overall thoughts. Weight tolerance wise, it's a 90 grain head as compared to advertised as 100. That's not acceptable to me. Plus or minus 2 grains is basically the tolerance I give a head. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the other same head to compare consistency, but the 10 grain weight miss is not acceptable in my opinion. It did not fly very well with my field points. Matter of fact, it didn't fly very well at all with my field points. I've shot other 100 grain broadheads and not had the issue, so I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know if it's because I'm using a small fletching configuration and 3 helical 2-inch feathers and it's a 4-blade head or what. As far as the wound channel goes, a 4-blade cut is awesome, and the wound channel it put through that block is fantastic. And as far as out-of-the-box sharpness, this is probably one of the sharpest, if not the sharpest broadhead I've ever taken out of the box. 125 on that scale is nuts. I've tested some other broadheads I had laying around at over 500. So guys, anyways, like I said, that's the Radical Archery Designs Madman 4-blade. If you want to check it out, I'll drop a link in the description. Also, there's links in the description to Strike Force. It's a great clean energy company. They just add it to water or whatever you prefer to drink. It's no calories, that's why I choose it. And then there's also affiliate links if you want to use any of the filming gear that I'm using. As always, guys, I appreciate you so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.